Alright, fuckfaces, welcome back to practicing portraits on artwod roadmap. Right, artwod being the best platform for drawing from imagination. Right, learning your forms, learning everything, to be honest. If you want to be a god, go to Antonio, slurp on his pee. But Jesus Christ, my fingers are extremely very shaky today, so this is gonna be do you see this? Do you see this? But anyways, if you're wondering who I am, why the fuck you should be watching me, the answer is not right now. Come back in 5 years, right? Because nobody cares about the learning journey. Not when you're actually learning, that is, right? But if you are curious and you haven't already clicked away, I'm Viggy, and I have dedicated my life and my channel to proving that anybody can draw, right? Granted, they focus on the right things because there are right things to focus on. If you click on my channel, you'll see I have over 300 videos, i.e. 300 hours, showcasing my practice, which is very sequential, very slow, and very linear progress of the fundamentals. Currently, the fundamentals I'm focusing on are perspective, line, form, right, and form manipulation, which is again what artwod teaches you, form manipulation. And I try to make it a very honest and clear breakdown as to what it takes to become great, and that greatness is not some, it's not a mythological being far away. It's within all of us, man. It's within all of us, right? So hopefully that was inspirational. Like, subscribe, watch every video. Thank you very much. Anyways, for those of you who are not new to my channel, fucking draw along. You know the drill. Get your pen, get your paper. I encourage every single one of you to use pen to improve your confidence, right? Although this goddamn number that I drew right here is not instilling any confidence in anybody watching, I assume. Oh, and I was looking at the first rep I did, so like 3 pages back, of this portrait practice. By the way, what is this portrait practice? I'm doing the portrait roadmap of artwod, of course. I'm doing the exercise. Like, I'm in the first section of the I'm in the second lesson of the first section of the first exercise of the second lesson of the first section, whatever. The point is, right, the exercises, look at a portrait reference, which is what I have on the left on my iPad. I'm looking at the reference, and you put it inside, and you turn it into a sphere. You turn the portrait head, the head, into a sphere with center lines, vertical and horizontal. I am obviously focusing purely on visualization. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to project. I'm looking at the reference right now, some random chick, right? Jenna apparently is her name. I think this is a model, actress, whatever the fuck, right? It's like a board on Pinterest, but I'm trying to understand the box that the perspective that her head is oriented in. Then I'm putting a sphere inside of that box. Then I'm putting the center lines, horizontal and vertical, inside the sphere, inside the box. If that sounds difficult, it is, right? Which is the exercise I encourage you all to do with me, because it's gonna 100% teach you how shit you are in general. And that's great, because the shittier you are, you only have upwards to go. Right? Expect to make lots of errors, expect to only focus on the effort, and expect to feel good when you make errors. I cannot speak right now. I can never speak ever, right? I remember, it's hilarious. My channel intro was like, I hope one of the big things I can do for this channel is just get better at my public speaking. I swear I've gotten more hyper, more spazzy, more fucking stuttery, and worse at explaining myself. So things are going just as planned. But anyways, draw along, right? I'm also going to be turning that. By the way, while I'm talking, I'm focusing. Okay, so that's a skill, right? While I'm talking, I'm trying to project that box, the sphere, and the contour lines, the center lines inside that sphere, inside that box, right? Extremely difficult, but that's the main primary skill. Last video, I realized, like, that's the main thing I really need to drill, is just visualizing those 3 layers of perspectives, because it's extremely difficult. And the more difficult things you can do, the more difficult you make it in the beginning, the easier it's going to be for you down the line, right? I think anybody who wants to improve themselves probably heard a version of this, of what I'm saying multiple times, right? But it's the absolute truth. It's the absolute truth. The more difficult you make things for you consistently, for yourself consistently, in the beginning, throughout your journey, whatever, the greater the payoff will be, right? And oh, by the way, what I was trying to say is, like, while I was looking, because I'm on rep 42, right? I was looking at rep 1, that page, and I realized that I have gotten a lot better. Like, maybe my designs have gotten more intentional for the helmets that I draw, because I turn these in. Because what I do is, like, the next step is I take the sphere, and then with the center lines, right? And then I draw, well, now, like, the big thing is, like, form wrapping hard surface shapes over it, right? Like, that's my biggest thing, is, like, trying to hold that sphere in my mind while I form wrap hard surface shapes, right? But I noticed, like, hey, like, my spheres used to be a lot smaller, and they used to be a lot, like, my lines used to be less confident, right? Not that, again, these lines instill any confidence in me. Damn, my fingers are really fucking shaky today. Which I hope goes to show, again, like, none of this means anything right now, but I know 5, 10 years from now, people will be like, how did he do it? How did he get so good? And then they'll be like, oh shit, he was just a normal guy consistently trying. Look, that means I can do it too. Who would have fucking thought? And what I'm doing right now is I'm ghosting. I'm trying to figure out the plane of the box. Because again, clearly, like, I've actually improved my ability when I look at that first rep versus this. Is like, not because the scale of the sphere is larger, that clearly means the scale of the box I can visualize has improved as well, right? And that's a huge thing, like improving the scale of the form that you're trying to visualize. It's very difficult. Don't get me wrong, it's extremely difficult. And me trying to do it while I'm talking right now is, might as well go fuck myself. But I'll do that after the video. Thank you very much. I have standards, right? But there's a couple things I wanted to talk about. Ooh, this is super difficult. So another cue I'd like to give myself, and I encourage anybody listening or watching, but probably listening, because I would encourage you to listen while you draw, right? Even though, I guess, if we're going by a fucking neuroscience perspective, right? I don't think it's that great to listen to me. So mute me, keep me on the background, and give me retention. But if you are gonna listen to me or watch me, right? Like in your downtime, probably when you're eating. I know, like, my girlfriend says when she's trained herself to like just be productive when she listens, has my videos on the background. So yeah, if you're not gonna watch me, do something productive while you're listening to me, whether it's chores, whether it's eating, right, whether it's going for a walk. My friend did encourage me. He's like, you should have a podcast, like you should put this shit on Spotify. I probably will at one point, like slowly just release my videos from the beginning again on the same schedule that I have now, Tuesday to Friday or Tuesday to Saturday, right, at 6:15 p.m. on Spotify as well, right? But I don't know if you can say retarded on Spotify. I don't even know if you can say it on YouTube. Who gives a fuck? I'm gonna say it anyways, right? It's just a fucking, it's the way I speak, so it doesn't really mean anything to me, right? But terms of services, man, it means everything to them. Everything to them, right? It's okay. Once sponsors like Brazzers and Raid Shadow Legends realize how much money they're gonna be making with me, that's a whole new game, right? YouTube be like, this is our golden child. And again, like, while I'm talking, I'm trying so hard. I'm telling you right now, I'm trying so fucking hard. Oh, by the way, the cue I wanted to say, holy shit, I'm all over the place. The cue I encourage you to have is ask yourself, am I in extreme cognitive discomfort, or am I in extreme discomfort? If the answer is no, then direct your discomfort towards the greatest return on investment when it comes to your art practice, which is spatial reasoning. So what I'm directing my efforts towards now is accurately seeing the box, like, as much as possible, accurately placing the sphere inside of it, which I've already done, but like still retaining it, and then accurately calculating the center lines based on the perspective of the box, which is extremely fucking difficult, by the way, right? Horizontal and vertical, and trying to keep that all in my mind while I'm doing these calculations and while I'm ghosting, right? That's the main thing. But yeah, like, it's extremely difficult, but I think like, again, keyword being thinking, because the drawing is thinking, I think I have a relative understanding. I don't believe this is that great. Actually, I do believe I made her face a little bit more upturned than necessary. Because again, these center lines do affect the orientation of the face, right? And now we got the vertical. See, like, while I did that, again, holding that visualization while applying a mark or a series of marks is extremely difficult, right? So this is where you gotta constantly, and again, am I in extreme discomfort? No, I'm pretty fucking uncomfortable, but let's focus on extreme. When I think extreme, I think like fucking 8, 9, 10 out of 10 discomfort, like, and effort, basically. I equate effort with discomfort, right? That's another thing you can train yourself to do. And then I equate effort with positivity. It's like, because I'm in extreme discomfort, this is the best thing I could be doing for myself, right? So I lost the perspective multiple times there, and I'm pretty sure I actually, yeah, actually, this is completely wrong. This should have been oriented like this. So I already fucked this up, but that doesn't mean that that doesn't mean that I can't look at the reference and try to understand. See, and that was a bad mark too, because it's a skill to be able to meet marks, right? But everything is a skill. Everything is a skill. But again, like, I keep losing that perspective, and I clearly fucked up the center line, right? I genuinely clearly fucked up the center line, and that's a good thing, because when I say that, I tell myself that's a good thing. Like, I feel good when I make mistakes, right? Like, I can literally just fucking shit out like a feeling now of pure dopamine and positivity, you know? And see, I just made another mistake. Not with this, but I also do equate mistakes with just the ability to not retain my visualization, right? Like, once you start seeing everything as a mistake, then you're just Okay, now that was genuinely a mistake. My fucking finger just spazzed out. Then you just start equating with like, okay, like I just gotta keep, like my biggest mistake right now, right? And again, like it's just keep holding that box and that sphere in the center lines in my head, even though the center line is wrong, right? As long as I keep focusing on holding that box in my head, that's the effort that matters. See, okay, so like I need to make sure that that's not as big as I made it right now. And yeah, like proportions, I'm just trying to get generally down because we're not trying to do the face exactly, but here you go, Jenna. Apparently you are a famous model, I guess. So, no, and this is not Jenna Ortega for anybody wondering. She's my age, which is really fucking weird. You know, my sister did say there was a point where, like, cause she's 3 years older than me, she was telling me, she's like, when fucking actors and actresses and people on TV and they start being your age, that's when you're like, damn, I am getting older. Because usually they're all adults, right? And usually they're all in their mid to late 20s, 30s. So it's pretty insane to me. I mean, I'm 28. So yeah, like anybody can draw. Again, you know, I'm 28. Oh, see, another mistake. Not with the line again, but like again, I keep losing the perspective, right? So yeah, dude, it's so good. The effort is really all that matters. Genuinely, the effort is really all that matters. Oh, okay, like that's so hard. That's so fucking hard. But even though I got the center line completely wrong, we obviously have the opportunity to rectify it when we start wrapping forms around the sphere. So again, that's even more difficult because yeah, like I've drawn this now, but now I have to see this still with the box. By the way, this is the box that it actually was. Just so you know, like this is the box that I see, that I'm focusing on seeing in my mind, right? And yeah, like I'll start drawing these over just so, and you see it's like it's super subtle. Like I have trouble visualizing these subtle planes. You know what I mean? But this is relatively the box. I'm not going to say with utmost or absolute confidence that this is 100% what I believe it is, because obviously that just comes down to constant practice and evaluation, right? And this is where her ear is. Yeah, something like that. Not perfect, but this is where her ear is, but it's definitely pretty subtle. And I think I converged that a bit too fast. Not I think. See, I can see these things, all right? I can tell, like, oh, it's too fast of a convergence. And this is actually diverging slightly. Fuck me. There we go. We fixed it. But it doesn't matter because it's all just a bunch of dotted lines overlapping each other, right? But I mean, like, I hope you can see how difficult this is, right? I hope you can see, like, yeah, clearly this, even I can't visualize a proper box, but I'm at this scale, but like I am consistently trying, and I know, and I generally understand the rules of perspective, right? And yeah, like I should have put this up a bit higher, to be honest, because that's actually where it's going to be placed. Like that's, if I want to be accurate, that's where the sphere is going to be, right? So yeah, like it has to be contained within the box. So now the big difficulty, and I think I'm gonna do this twice because clearly I fucked it up once. So I'm okay with doing the same angle twice, just to really get it down, especially with difficult subtle angles like these. These subtle angles when it comes to portraiture, and that's why portraiture is fucking amazing. And that's why people there are some people out there who just dedicate their life to purely mastering portraits, is because there's so much nuance in the human face, the angle, the expressions, the way the forms lay on each other, the different types of faces that can come about, right? Like it's chef's kiss. It's amazing. It's amazing. But anyways, I'm gonna rest my brain, and we're gonna keep trying to be in as much discomfort as possible. Try to put as much effort as possible. I encourage you to rest your brain as well. By the way, when I rest my brain, there's a reason I keep encouraging people to rest their brains. Is because if you've heard of the gap effect or the spacing effect, it's essentially when you rest your brain during a period of focused work or a bout of focused work, your brain is essentially accelerating and playing what you've just done. What is it called? These are like mini gap effects at like 20 times the speed, and it plays it backwards. And this just comes down to the spacing effect in general. For some reason, the backwards replay of what we are learning during these moments of silence or these moments of rest is for some reason pivotal to our learning journey and our learning process. But anyways, let's try to keep proportions. Okay, so see, like now I literally have to visualize what I just showed you, which is the box, the sphere inside the box, and then the center lines, vertical and horizontal, inside the sphere inside the box. That's what I encourage everybody to do, especially when it comes to this part of the practice. Obviously, what I'm doing right now is not necessary. This is like not part of the artwod exercise at all. But again, like, I'm always gonna push myself way beyond what is required for anything, to be honest. Right, like I've just found that's just the way. Like, just push yourself beyond the fucking limit of what's required, because it's the only way you're gonna make any progress that is meaningful and that will stick. Right, so this is the center line. Okay, so like, but this is the most difficult part. This is where I'm gonna spend a lot of my brain energy, and I'm gonna make a lot of mistakes. And I've been consistently making mistakes in visualizing the perspective for this as well, right? But if we try to get the proportions down pretty accurate and the sphere inside of it, like, that's the hardest part actually. Like, even like, of course they're all fucking hard, like visualizing even the center lines inside the sphere, inside the box, it's all very difficult. But definitely what's fucking incredibly difficult is visualizing the box and then the sphere perfectly placed inside that box, right? And then holding that while I'm drawing, because now it's not just about, again, this is just the basic. This has become the basic now, not because it is basic, but this is like, if we're talking about the overall of me designing hard surface shapes onto this, like, this is the most basic level of what I need to be able to retain in order to be able to allocate brain energy, right, my cognitive energy, towards thinking about, okay, now what kind of shapes can I design? How do they function? How do they like interact with each other? Do they interact with each other? Like, what kind of graphic, what are some pleasing shapes? What are some three-dimensional overlaps? Is there subtractions? Is there additions? Look at all these different things that I got to think about. But how can I expect myself to think about all those if I don't get this down structurally sound in my head, on the page, whatever, like however we visualize, right? Which is a skill. Visualization is an extremely difficult skill, which is why Kim Jong-il's always fucking nutting over it, right? He was always like, come on, like, one thing, because everybody's like, what's the one advice you can give? And he's like, visualize, just fucking visualize and pay attention, visualize and pay attention, right? But paying attention becomes easier when you can visualize, right? Like, it's a very positive feedback loop, you know? And so definitely to think, like, and obviously when he says visualize, he means visualize the perspective, visualize the forms, visualize the shapes, right? But it all comes down to visualizing the grid and the box, everything inside that. So, and again, while I'm talking, I'm drawing in my mind. It's extremely difficult, which is why drawing is thinking, right? Because now it's like, okay, again, what I mean by this is the basic, is like, this is the basic shape I have to keep retaining in my mind, right? And I'm taking my time. I hope this really clarifies. Again, my channel banner is an art progress channel, demystifying the journey to greatness, right? So here's the demystification part of it, which is, oh wow, he's just fucking taking an inane amount of time. Inane means boring. Sorry, an insane amount of time, right? An incredibly long time, and he won't shut the fuck up, right? And he's just consistently not doing anything that I can visually see, but he says he's thinking a lot. Is this what art is? The answer is fucking yes. Right? This is what my process of good draftsmanship and getting to the point of becoming the GOAT in 10, 20, 30, 40 years is, right? And I will be willing to bet that it's a generalized process, you know, like, yes, we'll all have particular nuance to our learning journey, but it's not so fucking different that you're gonna be like, well, I'm not gonna visualize and I'm not gonna put all this effort in and I'll be as good as him. No, I'm sorry, it's just not gonna happen. I challenge everyone who's listening, who's thinking that otherwise. Again, creating false narratives in my head, all to create some sort of inflammatory response to it, right? We want dissent in the comment sections. We want people to downvote. We want people to like, subscribe, and give me money. Please give me money. But anyways, what the fuck was I saying? Yeah, I'm visualizing the box. It's very difficult. But yeah, to design, so what I mean by the basic is like this, I have to train my ability to make the box, the sphere, and the center lines inside the sphere, inside the box, to be my basic general ability, and to be able to do that relatively easily, in the sense that I can do it without exerting 80 to 90% of my cognitive energy as I am now, right? So such that I can allocate mental, my mental energy towards designing on top of it. Right, so, like, okay, like, I'm gonna be silent for the next 10 minutes because I'm really gonna fucking focus, because this is incredibly difficult. Oh, and it feels so good, bro. I'm doing a brain orgasm right now, right? It feels so fucking good. But let's see, because I do obviously want to think about that center line, and we need to start wrapping shapes around it. So There you go. And again, like while applying, I probably just lost a good, yeah, like I probably easily lost a good fucking everything. Like while applying, I lose the perspective, the sphere, the box, the center lines so easily. Is what I'm also trying to make clear. Is like I lose it extremely easily because form wrapping is not easy, right? Form wrapping is very difficult. So I'm just trying to think, because like what kind of shapes do I want? Again, it's very easy, like genuinely, it's very easy to look at things on Pinterest and be like, yes, makes sense. It's very easy to do that. I think every single one of us have done that, where we looked online, we're like, I'm analyzing, I'm studying, right? But if we want to be the fucking goats, right? It's a big if, because I don't know how many people actually want to be good, and how many people just say they want to be good, but don't actually give a shit about being good. But if we want to be the goats, then there has to be a very concentrated effort. And right now I'm losing the perspective a lot, which is why holding my baseline ability, which is a very difficult baseline ability I have to achieve, is the box, the sphere inside the box, and then the center lines inside the sphere inside the box. And proportionally accurate, by the way, proportionally accurate is a very important part of it, right? Because it doesn't mean anything if it's not proportionally accurate. Now, like, I'm trying to problem solve, like, because I'm trying to create the same shape and perspective over here, right? So I'm trying to problem solve this. You know, and my lines will try to have some nuance. And that's what I like as well, is like, I get to practice my line work, even if it's absolute fucking ass. But I'm trying to problem solve this now. It's like, okay, like considering that this is my, see, I lost the perspective again, like, but considering that this is my perspective, right? And this is my form. There you go, something like that. I believe. Now, I can hopefully, and again, like I lost the perspective again, so I really have to take a step back and recalibrate and try to hold that in my mind as much as possible. Oof, oh, that's so hard. That's so hard, but like, whatever. I mean, that's the best part, right? It's just, see, I think I fucked the perspective up, but maybe I can fix, I think, I definitely did fuck it up, but if we can just, there you go, if we can just kind of figure out a little system for myself, and then now I can, okay, so like again, I lost the box again, and by the way, like I'm trying to think about a functional shape that's wrapping around the sphere, because that's the biggest thing, is like I need to think about functionality as well, right? So while I did fuck up quite a bit, I also need to think about functionality. Know what I mean? And that word doesn't mean anything, if that makes sense. Like that word doesn't really mean anything until I am able to give it meaning via the shapes that encapsulate it, right? Like it doesn't mean much until it does, which definitely sounds retarded, but I am trying. I'm trying to make sense of it all. And I don't believe it's making much sense. Like, I don't believe it's making much sense, but it doesn't matter because I'm gonna keep trying till I figure it out, you know? And that's all that matters, is that I just keep trying until I figure it out. So, okay, like again, I'm trying to think like what can the shape be connected to? And I do try to think about it in terms of like large shapes that are wrapping around, right? And I think I fucked up the perspective. I think I keep fucking up the perspective. Not I think, I am. It's a fact now. I've completely fucked up the perspective. So this box has changed orientation, If this is like this, now it's turned into something like this. It's straighter, right? But I need to also think about symmetry, right? What the fuck is symmetry? I don't know. Okay. And obviously, I'm still trying to form wrap generally pleasing shapes. And I'm trying to think about like big shapes as well, by the way, right? I'm still trying to think about. Oh, see, I lost the perspective. I'm in so much discomfort. I lost the perspective consistently. I lost the box again. And it's extremely hard. It's extremely hard. I'm extremely hard, specifically, in case you're wondering. But let's see. I want to do here. Okay. Again, losing the perspective, but I'm not gonna let that shape the drawing. Okay, that is obviously a mistake. This feels so good. This is such a fucking... Okay, and then we go... Because again, I have to hold this fear in my head, right? So clearly I'm fucking that up too. Consistently. To hold this fear in my head, it has to be a decent size as well. There you go. Maybe some sort of connection like so. And what else? Okay, so I definitely think I fucked up the perspective all around. This is so difficult. I love this. I love how difficult this is. Oh my god, it's so good. Oh, I'm cooming. I'm cooming. Anyways, see, maybe some sort. Yeah, those are just like general things. Like this is like, oh, maybe it's gonna be some sort of angle that then turns inwards and then comes down, right? But also while thinking of the perspective. So perhaps the main thing now is just let's try to make this a shape that looks big enough that I can relatively understand. I mean, dude, I completely changed the perspective. Ooh, that's so fucking difficult. It's so difficult. I cannot explain how difficult it is. So let me explain how difficult it is. I've completely lost the box. I've completely lost the center lines and the sphere. I'm trying to hold the sphere as much as possible, but I fucked up the horizontal center line, right? Like right here. It should have been... This is something I already messed up. Yeah, like completely. I actually had the right idea here, and then I did not follow through. Right? So now it's just kind of a matter of, okay, well, how can we save this? Right? How can I save this? There you go. Maybe it's like a wraparound, right? It's a wraparound coil of sorts, right? And I need to obviously have the same thing on the other side to try to make sense of it. And that's where, you know, perspective will change a little bit, right? Like so. And I think that's fine. It's nothing fucking good at all, but it's fine. Because again, it's connecting to that. Oh wait, I forgot to add this over. Fuck. How does that connect? I'm trying to think. See, like it's becoming muddied, and you can see my line work is becoming really shit as well. And like I'm still trying to hold the perspective in my mind. But dude, I've completely changed it. I've literally completely changed the perspective. Right? So like I've genuinely completely changed the perspective. So it's extremely difficult. Hopefully you can understand. And again, like I'm trying to think like what kind of shape do I want here? Right? Because that juts out. Then should I... I'm trying to... Okay, like I am in extreme discomfort. Let it be known. I'm extremely uncomfortable. Because I'm also trying to think about a perfect sphere that is encompassed in all of this. And how does this even make sense? I don't even think what I did here makes sense. TBH fam. So let's just do that. And maybe something like this actually. And again, like while I'm doing this, I'm trying so hard to see the perspective that I so desperately wanted to see, and I so desperately need to see. There you go. Maybe that adds a little bit of three-dimensionality. I think that's incorrect. Oh, it's all fucking incorrect. Let's add more. Oh, see? This is why I love practicing line work, because it adds nuance. Let's see, how do I want this to go about? Okay, so how do I, like, the logic behind this is also really important, right? So, I'm trying to think. And look at that, it's already been half an hour. Like, I don't even know. I just, like, it's, oh, it's gonna take so much time, which is fine. I mean, I'm not complaining about the fact that it's gonna take time. I'm just, because I lost the center line, I lost the horizontal line, but I'm trying to bring it back. And I'm trying to make sure that it makes sense. Let's see, something like... I'm just trying to see what is a interesting shape. Again, interesting shape doesn't really mean much to me right now because clearly I can't really draw interesting shapes. That doesn't mean I'm not gonna try, by the way. That just means that I clearly struggle with it, right? So, okay, that's attached like so. Let's see, what else? What else can we do? Again, am I in extreme cognitive discomfort? No, I'm not. So we need to take a step back and be like, okay, well, how can I be in extreme cognitive discomfort? Right? Then, well, I need to, again, think about the perspective because I've obviously changed it quite a bit, but I think about that. I need to make sure that I still have a general sphere that I'm connecting to, right? And what can I do here? Well, maybe we can add another addition. I do want to try to use language as much as I can to convey what I'm thinking, but it's hard because I obviously have to think so fucking much. Let's see, and then we can just... That's off center too, which is unfortunate. But that's good, that's fine. Right, so... There you go, that's gonna wrap around. Now we just have to think about, okay, like how are we gonna make this sphere make sense? Because again, like I've completely fucked the perspective up, let's not forget, right? Like I've completely fucked the perspective up. So we just have to kind of at least make sure that the sphere in of itself that I'm holding in my mind has something going for it, right? So, and again, obviously they're all manipulations at the end of the day, but there you go. Maybe just something like that, something simple like that, and bring it around. Not perfect. Right? Okay, that's fine. I'd like to think. It has a lot of issues, but it's fine for now. And then we'll try to wrap something around like so. So, like how does this connect, right? How does, maybe it connects like that? And I can just kind of wrap it around like so. But I have to think about the logic behind this, right? We can't just have things wrap and not make sense. Let me, there you go, maybe something like this. Okay, that already looks a lot more three-dimensional, which is okay. It's not bad. But again, like, I have to think, how does this wrap around? Because my sphere is already a bit fucked. And I've completely lost the perspective again. I keep losing it multiple fucking times. And this is actually off perspective too. This ellipse is completely off perspective, so we have to ignore that as well, right? Which is another thing in of itself. But let's see. Okay, kind of fixed it there. And then we have to there you go. Maybe that's connected like so. Something like that, right? And basically just it's tapering inwards, and there's subtractions that are there. Okay, so if you're wondering how did you fuck the perspective up, well, this is the box that is here, right? Now look what this box became. Like, that's basically what this box became. So again, like, I'm okay with doing this, trying to do this one again. Actually, no, like, it's even more, it's even worse than that. Yeah, see, like, it's a completely different angle. Yeah, I hope you can see it. Like, I managed to keep this relatively decently, right? The vertical, this plane, but you see how it's shifted now? It's shifted and we see more of the top plane. That's not bad. That's not bad considering that was extremely difficult, which is all that matters. So yeah, let me rest my brain. I'm obviously gonna try again. Rest, I encourage you to do so as well. Yeah, that was extremely difficult. I think this is also pretty good practice, right? We'll just good old water. But we'll just you know, we'll take our time. We'll keep practicing the same shit, basically, right? And now form wrapping shapes is obviously very important. And even here, I feel as if I could add kind of a little bit more detail, right? There you go, something like that. And I like, if you're wondering like why, you know, is he drawing so fine? Well, I like being able to train my fine lines, these little details, and it makes such a huge difference. Makes such a huge difference. Right, even here, probably should have had something like that, like wrapping around, right? That makes it look a bit more legit. But yeah, slowly but surely, guys. Slowly but surely. But don't call me Shirley. See, like, there's logic inconsistencies here, right? Which I'm trying to address now. Now, right? I think I actually fucked up the logic. Anyways, we'll stop fucking around and noodling with that one. Onwards to rep 43, which is the same perspective, the same pose. But now we'll just try again. And again, like, we'll try to project that box, the sphere. That is clearly that's the greatest return on investment. So again, I know, and the thing is, I've realized I contradict myself so much, bro. Like, literally, not last video, but the video prior to that. So I think that's episode, was that 28, I believe? Yeah, part 28. At the end of it, I'm like, oh, so when I move on to the next exercise, which is you just do it with a box, then I'm probably gonna make like the next version of the thing that's next to that, right? That like the harder version, the more complicated version, be like trying to reflect all the different planes of the face with that box in relation to the reference. And then last video, I was just like, no, like this is the greatest return on investment. So I'm just gonna, even if I'm just drawing a box for the face, I'm still going to turn it into a sphere for the helm. Like I'm still gonna focus on hard surface shapes wrapped around a sphere. Because that's the greatest return on investment, I believe, right? So that is what I'm gonna stick with. ignore all the other bullshit I keep spewing, but that is what I believe. Anyways, okay, back to looking at this reference and really trying to see that box, right? Really trying to see it. and the sphere inside of it, and the center lines horizontal and vertical inside the sphere, inside the box, right? So it's like this. I definitely fucked it up last time. So let's get to it. And you know what? Yeah, like I'm glad I'm drawing these much larger, because it's gonna look disgusting when I start adding features like the 3D manipulated features onto these, but it's also gonna be a great fucking way for me to get comfortable with drawing bigger, right? Like if this is the biggest I'm gonna draw my heads in general for the time being, then it's just another great way for me to really get the proportions and features and three-dimensionality down, because you can't fraud behind. When you draw smaller you can fraud, but when you draw bigger you can't fraud, right? Like when you draw smaller, if you fuck up a line, it's like, oh whatever, it's a tiny little line. Obviously it'll make a difference if that line is supposed to be perspective based like here, but you see, like it's like even here I'm drawing a bit smaller and it's like, okay, like in terms of the details, and you're like, oh yeah, it's fine, it's not a big deal, nobody really thinks or notices too much. But then if you're drawing larger, at least like in terms of features, like if this is wrong, if this eye is wrong, it's wrong because it's large. I don't know if that makes too much sense. Again, I'm not a teacher by any means, so although I would like to explain myself as articulately as I can, right? I'm never gonna profess that I'm a teacher or I'm teaching you, right? But I will sell you courses. Give me 10 years. I will absolutely sell you material for a very high price of probably anywhere from 20 to 50 bucks, right? But don't worry, the content will be extensive and it'll be focused on action rather than just, oh, like here's 50 concepts, right? Like my beginner course that I have in mind is just gonna be me condensing the first 2 years that I like from that video, right? Like basically condensing that and more in terms of like shape manipulations, all that shit. What I found to be the greatest return on investment for me, right? There's gonna be obviously a section in the beginning purely based on mindset. It's basically any course that I put out is gonna be do 100 of this and then do another 100 of this sequentially and then do another 100 of this sequentially. So it's gonna be for people who don't want to think about what to do, they just want to think while doing it and how to think while doing it, right? So I personally believe that's a great way. Like if you're like me, where you're just like, okay, I'm not gonna be so up in my head. I just want to learn how to learn, and I want to learn how to get good, and I want to know what to learn to get good, right? Like, and I'll put the work in. It's for that type of person. It's for the people who are gonna put the work in, and want to put the work in and want to get good, but have trouble understanding the right mindset or a good way to learn or a good way to think about it, or like how do I visualize. So it's gonna be for those people where, like, I'll get rid of all that cognitive energy that you're putting towards the big, like, how, why, like, when, what do I do, in terms of like how to practice the practice itself, and just give you, from my experience, which hopefully will mean something in 10 years, because let's be honest, many of you will be sucking my dick when as I get better and better and better, right? It's just a simple fact, no matter who I am, no matter how I speak, no matter how crass I may be, right? You will respect my skill. It's as simple as that, right? And you will hopefully respect my message, which is anybody can draw, because that is my message, and that's the message I will continue to put out till the end of time. Is anybody can draw, anybody. And you're an anybody. You exist, do you not? Okay, you can draw. Just shut the fuck up and put the work in a very nice way, by the way, not in a mean way, right? Like you can put the work in, but I guess I've just been tainted by constant bitching by beginners on Reddit and YouTube specifically, right? I know that's the thing is, like, I know that is I would like to say, oh, I believe that's not reflective of all beginners, but that is reflective of a substantial amount of beginners. And by the way, again, while I'm talking, I'm drawing, right? I am drawing, I am thinking, and I am in extreme discomfort. Like, I genuinely am in extreme discomfort, right? So yeah, just wanted to put that out there, just to consistently reaffirm that energy is not being wasted. And at the most, like, energy is the attempt to utilize energy is being had, right, consistently, and hundreds of mistakes are occurring every minute while this energy is being attempted to be utilized, and dopamine, positive feelings, is being attached to those hundreds of mistakes as consistent as possible, which is again expediting my learning process, my error correction, and my the expansive neuroplasticity in my brain, right? So yeah, anyways, I would like to believe, I would like to believe that beginners aren't gonna bitch about everything and anything, but my experience, right, has shown Otherwise, wait, am I fucking this up again? I think I'm fucking this up again because it's so hard to think and draw at the same time. Shit, I am fucking this up again, but maybe I saved it. Maybe I saved it? I think I did save it. No, I didn't. Hold up. Let's think. Yeah, it's okay. It's supposed to be much more it should be down here actually. The center line needs to start here because this is the box, right? This is the box. So if we look at it like this is the fucking ellipse surrounding it, right? So when I think about it like that, actually, is it correct? Maybe I am correct. No, I am correct. It's just nowhere near as pronounced as I'm making it. There you go. It's much more subtle, right? And I still think it has to be a bit more to the left, but again, it could be wrong. Like this is me literally talking to myself, being like, do I understand? And a lot of the times the answer will always be like, you're trying, but probably not, right? You're trying, but probably not. No, see, it is wrong. It is fucking wrong. What the fuck? Oh, there you go. See, that's more accurate. You see, it's a subtle difference, but yeah, this line is more accurate. So that's where it has to be. I believe. Fucking hell. I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. That's why I love Alex Hormozy, because he already just reaffirmed a lot of the things I've been thinking during my first two and a half years, right? Because I just discovered him like mid 2025. And it was just, he basically was just extremely articulately, aggressively, and through his life experience and backing it up with his accomplishments, stating that you will work hard, you will figure it out, just keep fucking trying, keep putting in the volume. It's extremely difficult, but nobody else is gonna do it, right? And that's basically like what I'd been thinking the entire time. I was like, I feel as if nobody understands me, but then I was like, oh, he doesn't like me for real, and everything changed. And there were stains on the wall and the floor and in my eye too, which was really disgusting and honestly hard to clean up. But everything did change, including my clothes, because again, stains, right? But I'm so funny. I'm such a funny guy. But anyways, I'm distracting myself with my own sense of humor. I need to think. God damn it. I need to think. God damn it. I said I need to think. But yeah. Okay. So that is incorrect. Again, I incorrectly. Yeah. Look at this. Yeah, see, center line's off again. And this needs to be very subtle. So okay, so this angle's off as well. So this is actually really bad. This is actually really bad, which is good. Because this is actually, this is, like, if I do it right here, it's kind of like this. This is like, that's what's happening. Those are the center lines, but when you do it just via the center line, you're like, oh yeah, that's simple. But then when we add perspective into it and we try to hold that in our mind, right, and then we try to see this, because again, like, guys, remember, I'm not using guidelines, right? I'm creating guidelines in my mind. You know what I mean? Like, this is literally what I'm trying to see in my mind at all times, right? So yeah, like when I look at it now, I'm like, oh yeah, like it's pretty accurate. Like this is pretty accurate, but again, doing it on a smaller scale and basically thinking out loud versus trying to see this properly. But anyways, we'll still draw the features, and we'll still, for the sake of just, trying to understand, right? Still try to get it down, but this is inaccurate. Just, complete heads up, this is inaccurate. Right. This is why I love portraiture. Again, guys, it's actually so difficult. It's so difficult. Giant ass nose. Actually, she has a pretty normal sized nose, right? I guess symmetrically speaking. But nostrils are actually extremely difficult to understand. And that makes sense because again, I don't really know how to draw any of this shit, right? Knowledge is power, but you know what else is even more powerful than knowledge? Applying that knowledge thousands of times. But yeah, anyways, I was just saying, I love Alex Hormozy because the things he says, like, you will figure it out. Volume negates luck. Just keep putting in as much work as you can, right? Keep trying. Like, he said this one thing where I'm like, I'd literally been thinking that exact same sentence for essentially between 2024 and 2025 before I discovered him, right? Like, especially those first 2 years, which is, it's not boring, it's easy. And because if it was boring, it'd be easy, right? Yeah, like we said that in like a podcast with Chris Williamson, and I was like, my guy, you get me. But no, seriously, like, what do you think I've been saying, right? It's like the fundamentals are not boring; they're difficult, right? Because if they're boring, they'd be easy, and you'd be able to do them 100 times over, right? But you can't. So this is not boring. This is extremely easy. I still like, even dude, Broken Draw came out with a video today, right? And the thing is, we've talked about this, so he knows where I come from, but I also know, like, he specifically said that he also has to choose his language because he does have a lot of beginners, and he doesn't want to discourage them. But my mindset is, you're all fucking pussies. Beginners are just pussies. And I was a huge pussy too, so I'm not gonna say that I'm on some high horse or whatever, right? Because my horse is sober. Anyways, such a shit joke. But yeah, I'm not on a high horse when I say beginners are pussies, because I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about me, right? And then I'm projecting it onto you. But yeah, like beginners in anything, you're afraid to fail, right? Blah blah blah. I get it. It's extremely fucking scary. I completely understand. In fact, but the thing is, I've probably failed a million times more than you've ever tried, And this is just reflecting the whole, the master has tried more times the beginner, or like the master has failed more times the beginner has tried. I'm not a master, but I'm saying I've already begun my process towards mastery, right? My path is set. 30 years from now, I'm gonna be a fucking goat, or what I consider to be a goat. And even then, I'm gonna be like, I don't understand anything. Oh God, this is so hard, because that's the point. I'm gonna keep trying and I'm gonna keep failing, right? But I'm telling you right now, I've probably failed way more than you've actually ever tried. And I've probably tried harder and failed harder than you've ever done, like a combination of those, right? And I've probably tried harder on even more difficult things, right? Especially when it comes to spatial reasoning. And I'm addressing beginners in particular, probably intermediates as well, who feel as if if you're an intermediate but you can't do this from your mind, then I'm better than you. When it comes to form, and when it comes to drawing from imagination, and when it comes to perspective, right? Like this might be like, oh, he's such a dick, but like, it's just a fact, just like you're probably better than me when it comes to drawing portraits, understanding shapes, understanding line economy, understanding composition, understanding shadows, understanding did I say composition already? Like, understanding anything that isn't just line, form, and perspective, right? So yeah, like, I understand very, very little, but I'm specifically talking in the context of, if you can't do this from your mind, right? And I can barely do this from my mind, by the way, then I'm better than you in doing this from my mind, and all the skills that involve doing this from my mind, right? That's just an objective fact. So yeah, like, I'm calling people out, whatever, it doesn't really matter. And by the way, while I'm talking, I'm fucking dying inside, because I'm struggling to see this box and the sphere and everything inside of my head. I'm struggling. I'm struggling. But the point being, is there even a point? I'm bitching, right? That's usually what I do. What the fuck am I talking about? The point being, yeah, beginners are pussies, so get good. I don't think that was the point I was trying to make, but okay, well, while I'm doing this, let's think out loud, because again, language is power, right? When we're able to articulate what exactly we're trying to do, we're probably going to be able to do it a little bit better, maybe like 1% better, which is an improvement over 0%, right? But yeah, like, I need to keep seeing that. Like, this box right here, this type of subtle box, and then it being tilted, and at this scale, like this large of a scale, and then putting a sphere inside of it. Oh, dude, that's a mind fuck. Oh, that is my brain being diddled at 100 times the normal speed. So just like 0, because I never use it, right? Clearly. But okay, so that's the plane. That's the top. So that's, yeah, that is the fucking, yeah, okay, that is the, yeah, it's just very subtle. So again, like, what kind of shape do I want wrapped around? I did this, I did like vertical, I literally just wrapped it along the vertical and horizontal, but perhaps we need to push ourselves a little bit more, right? Perhaps. So let's see. Okay, this is extremely hard, but let's see. Okay, I'm at extreme discomfort, yes, but I need to push even more so into that extreme discomfort, right? I need to really, really push into that extreme discomfort. And now I'm not ghosting anymore as much, because I'm really trying to just see that box, right? Because you kind of just have to brute force it. You have to feel like your brain's just like, dude, do it, I can't do it. But anyways, yeah, I hope this channel is inspiring on another topic, right? Like, I really, I don't know. I don't know if this channel will ever blow up, but my belief is just the fact that, like, as my thumbnails continue, right, behind the text, the wall of beautiful, shitty thumbnails and the stupid jokes that I write down in my thumbnails, right, behind that, as the drawings get better, it'll just incite curiosity. It's like, what the fuck? What is this retarded thumbnail? And then there's just some really good drawings behind it, right? And that's gonna happen over the course of 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, whatever. But my belief is that as I continue and as I continue to do, like, as the YouTube algorithm continues to sporadically promote me here and there, that the drawings will promote curiosity. And if not now, then at a point where it's just like you just see god tier shit, or what I currently believe to be god tier shit. When I'm at that point, I'll probably be like, of course I was at this point. We're on to the next level now, disgusting. But my belief is like, yes, people will look at it, and then the next hope is that they'll be like, who the fuck is this guy? And then they'll click on the channel and they'll be like, 1,200 videos, what the fuck? And then, you know, banner will be like art progress channel. My intro video will hopefully maybe like 5% of people will click on that and be like, oh shit, okay, so he's cataloging everything. And then they'll go back to my videos and they'll be like, wait, 1,200 videos, each video is an hour. This has 1,200 hours of practice? Holy shit, what was he like in the beginning? Click on oldest, and then you see what I was doing the second year and onwards, right? Like, yeah, basically, technically within the third year, but yeah, like after the 2-year mark is when I started cataloging, and you'd be like, oh, what the fuck? Like, okay, I'm basically there. Or maybe they'll see my 2-year, you know, this is a video for beginner artists, and they'll see like, oh, I'm here. And this was his first 2 years, and now he's here, like fucking 8 years later, 9 years later. Oh shit, it's really just time, patient effort, and having a giant dick. My god, I can't do all of those, but I can do those that I have control over, such as my giant dick. And then they'll like, subscribe, and give me money. And then everybody will clap, hopefully. I think that's a huge part of it. Everybody will, in fact, clap. But, okay, so I'm about to commit to something that may or may not bear fruit, but this is where I need to really think. I need to really think. Because I just... Okay, hold up, there you go, let's do that. Let's do that. Let's do that. And then, oh man, this is gonna be so hard, but it's gonna be worth it, hopefully. Let's do that. And then, let's do that. There you go. Okay, so I just committed to something. And again, I'm like really trying to see if it makes sense. I keep fucking up the perspective clearly, but this is where I believe my knowledge hopefully will make a difference. Or my effort, sorry, not my knowledge. Again, I'm thinking right now, so it's very difficult. Please forgive me, I'm shit. But I'm trying to think of like big shapes, right? Big shapes, big shapes. So I'm trying to think about that perspective, trying to make sure trying to make sure this all makes sense. Let's see, and then what else can we do? Well, oh, this is hurting my brain so much. And I think I'm already at the hour mark, right? Yeah, I'm basically at the hour mark. So this is easily gonna go into like an hour and 20, which is fine by me, because like I'm not gonna rush this. I feel as if I'm at the crucifix, the precipice, the prefix, the prepices, yeah, the precipice. What the fuck, man? The precipice. Yes, I'm at the precipice. Then fucking went through like an entire amalgamation of words just to say them all wrong too. I think I mispronounced half of them. But I'm at the precipice of change. So, would you, right? Think really hard. Think so hard, bro. You want like fucking veiny thinking right now. You want some girthy thinking, pulsating thinking. Yeah, people are definitely gonna be astounded when they're like, this is who I look up to? This is the person? And by the way, I'm talking about like 10 years from now. They're gonna be like, this is the fucking dickhead who I thought was the GOAT? It disgusts me. I can't believe I have to be inspired by someone like this. And then I'm just gonna be like, haha, joke's on you. And then I'll have to come up with a joke because I can't think of anything right now. But I will be like, haha, joke's on you, don't forget. Okay, so this clearly, like, so again, to explain my thought process, I'm like, I'm gonna wrap a large shape following the contour of the sphere, and I'm gonna try to make it jut out in ways that I can, I guess, creatively think about. Right? Will it be good? Will it be bad? It doesn't matter. We're just trying to form wrap around that sphere, right? And it has to make sense. It has to be subtle. And we need some sort of functionality, right? And that's just what I'm thinking about in general, right? I think I already fucked up the perspective a decent amount. But mondai nai, as the Japanese say, mondai nai, or mondai nai, which is, I think, it is not a problem. This is how you know I watch so much fucking anime, bro. I can like half-assedly translate probably 30 to 40% of an anime now, just without subs, because I've watched so much, right? It'll be extremely broken. I probably really won't understand what's going on, but at least I'll be like, haha, I'm just like the Nipponese, let's go, right? Again, extreme discomfort. We've got to make sure this is all accurate. Now, I just have to think about one thing, which is how not to be shit. Really, really difficult to do. Just how not to be shit. Okay, so that's not bad. I've established, and let's do this. Okay, well, that was a bit off, so that's a mistake. But well, just to make sure like it's the same on this side, but I've established a little bit of a perspective, hopefully, and I fucked it up. No, wait, it's jutting out. I didn't fuck it up. Oh my god! I did not fuck it up. That's part of the perspective, fam. It's all perspective. There's like this video my friend showed me. Wellington yesterday. I don't know if anybody knows that meme, but that guy. Ha ha ha. Long live the queen. Anyways, I'm just trying to think what this could be. So we obviously have created some sort of shit. Very good, very good. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to create a hinge here. Right, I want to create a hinge. And I want to make it in perspective. Oh, okay, I lost the box again, but this is obviously actually clearly off. Fucking my cope with the perspective, and dude, that line is like, is it dying right now? The amount of times I've went over that line is so bad, but let's just think, because I clearly fucked up the perspective again, but it's okay, because we can still try to figure it out, right? There you go. And we'll do the same thing here. Right, trying to get that sphere intact. It's very subtle. And then what kind of... Again, trying to make sure the box has some semblance of sense. And let's see, it's super subtle. Actually, it did fuck up the vertical line, right? It should actually be even more subtle. But I'm just trying to think in terms of like large shapes that are being attached, right? Maybe I could do something like this. And again, trying to keep the perspective in mind as much as possible. So let's say I'm adding a subtraction. I'm not trying to forget that language is important, by the way. I'm simply forgetting because I'm retarded. It's as simple as that. I do like these little cylindrical accents, right? Am I learning big, medium, small? Holy shit. Am I actually applying what I'm supposed to be learning in a manner which is beneficial to my learning journey? Oh my god, he's a genius, he's a genius. Right, and I love what this is doing for my line work too, as in it's greatly challenging it. Hey, Kim Jong-il can create the fucking thinnest lines out of this brush pen. So if he can do it, I can do it. Right? And I've noticed that kind of pisses some people off, or like people like to, there's some guy who left a, some people leave such backhanded compliments or like condescending fucking things where they're just like, you know, oh, like, come on, you're not gonna be Kim Jong-il. You're like, oh, it's impossible. It's like, dude, it's not impossible, right? Why does nobody fucking believe in themselves, right? It's just crazy to me that we've created a culture of people wanting to shit on others for trying, right? Like, and some people will like just insinuate, being like, you know, it's just, I'm sorry, it's like, you keep trying. Yeah, that's cute, kid. Keep trying. And I'm like, I am cute. Thank you, actually. I genuinely appreciate the belief that I'm adorable. But we're not talking about how cute I am right now. We're talking about art. What the fuck? Get off my channel. But what was I saying? But basically, I've just noticed a sentiment that it's like, it's just not possible to achieve things. You know what I mean? And this is pretty good. It's like a cylinder attached to another cylinder, right? That kind of looks pretty cool. I think it's off perspective, but whatever, keep going. And then we're gonna have this. Yeah, we're gonna do something like this, where, okay, we'll do something like this, where this is attached. And I lost the perspective multiple times. I want to keep clarifying that. I really want to keep clarifying that because I wanted to make it very, 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 like, overwhelmingly clear that even though I'm drawing something like this, which to some of you may look really cool, it may. I'm not going to say that it may not, right? But I want to be very clear that I literally lose myself so much. Like right now, I'm in extreme discomfort trying to gain the perspective back, even though I can't see it. I literally can't see it. I'm still struggling. You know what I mean? There you go, something like this. Right. Oh wait, that should be much thicker. And that way I'll make this a decent amount thicker as well. Dude, my shapes are definitely getting better. I think like taking the time. What a surprise! Oh, man discovers patience and trying, I guess. Right? But again, like my perspective is really off. My perspective is incredibly off. Right? So I have to fix that. Add it there, and now add it there again. That looks a bit better. Right? I really like doing these little accents. Apart from just challenging my line quality, I feel as if they just add a little bit of like, oh, pizzazz, like, oh, that's detail, right? Oh, that's detail, you know? So even like, I'm gonna leave that as it is, because I know if I add a line there, it's gonna fuck with the background. So at least I'm learning that, right? Even something like, and now this has to follow the perspective, because last time I fucked that up. There you go. See, just like that sort of accent. Like that looks pretty interesting. I think it still fucked up the perspective, but either way. Okay, so we got this. This is coming out, and then what do I want to do here? Because I wanted this to. Okay, so this clearly I'm gonna. Yeah, this is what I meant to do, which is something like this. Right, like it's multiple rounded is what I wanted. So yeah, drawing a little multiple rounded, and you can see my lines are really suffering, and I keep constantly readjusting my pen. I see my lines are, dude, do you look at that? Like this could have gone a lot better, but that angle, this angle right here, like pushing in and out, I struggle with a lot to this day. So I like to practice that a bunch too. So this is really off. The center line is off, but at least actually, it's all off. It's literally all off. I drew the fucking wrong box again. But I hope this is all just informative, that it's always going to be difficult. Let's just finish this sphere. Right, not even a perfect sphere, but good effort. I would definitely say that's a good fucking effort. So, starting to look cooler, starting to look more interesting. Definitely think I'm learning. What a surprise. Man tries and man learns. Right? And for the 13% female audience out there, woman tries and woman learns as well. We're all the same, you and I, for real, for real. Anyways, that was really fucking good. And again, I hope I did articulate what I was thinking, which is, I mean, if I didn't, I would like to state that it's purely, whatever, just try to think about like, okay, yeah, like the box, right? the sphere inside the box, and then the center lines horizontal and vertical inside the sphere inside the box based on the reference, by the way. All try to project from the reference onto the page, or in my mind onto the page, however you visualize, that's fine, right? And then, you know, the next difficult step is just, that's an arrow, by the way. The next difficult step is just, of course, like, especially this is helping, is like, let's not try to make an intense helmet or whatever, but just trying to wrap hard surface shapes around the sphere. And for you, that hard surface shape might just be like a fucking bending box that you're trying to get around it. I'm clearly really bad at, like, or just definitely struggle with that in general, right? And like trying to get the perspective down, right? Like that's something I clearly still struggle with. So, you know, it's all part of the process, but that's what I'm trying to think. Like, okay, like what kind of wrapping do I want? It's like, if like, do I want maybe, let's say, a general box wrapped around this? Because I always think in terms of like general boxes or like generally slightly manipulated simple forms, and like, okay, something attaching here and then there's a wrapping around here. This isn't really what I expected at the end of it, to be honest, but you know, that's art, right? You don't really control everything. You only control your efforts. But with that being said, I hope you put a lot of effort in. I hope you really tried. And as always, fuck you for watching. Keep drawing money. No, I'm gonna change that. Please give me money. Thank you. Bye.